Ain't no doubt. Bills play a massive game today. Playoffs round two. However, shout out Jerry Ostrowski, former O lineman from the 90s with the Bills, Tulsa Hurricanes. Shout out. Check him out on Locked On NFL. He's on every week on a panel of former players, so it's awesome to hear former actual players' insight into what they think, modern day NFL, previous NFL, etc. So Ostrowski said something like this whole narrative has been, oh, this is the Bills' year. This is their best year. If they don't do it this year, they won't do it. And this is the first time I've heard somebody really counter that. And it was neat because he's a former Bills player, legendary player. And I appreciated that perspective, and he's spot on. This is the Bills' worst roster they've had in recent memory under McDermott. Jerry said. And Jerry's not wrong. And he elaborated. They've missed on a lot of draft picks. You can go down the list and name them. One he alluded to, he did not say the name, but I respect that because you don't want to shame guys. It is what it is. But the wide receiver position, I will say the name, Keon Coleman, early round 2 pick a couple years ago. There was a lot of other receivers on the board, including there would have been even more if you didn't trade back out of your first round pick to the Chiefs to the second round. There was a ton there. Ladd McConkey, let's just say, it was still on the board with Georgia when they drafted Keon Coleman as one. Ostrowski did mention Brandon Cooks. This is a late season signing, guys, by the Bills, an older receiver. He's been a key piece, but he was so valuable, Ostrowski pointed out, they benched him week 18. Kudos, Jerry. That was an awesome call out. And his point, I think, was like, that should not be the situation. If you have a great roster, that will not be the situation. You're probably not even signing Brandon Cooks. If you thought you needed Brandon Cooks and aged Brandon Cooks, you would have signed Brandon Cooks, said receiver, in the preseason. But to Jerry's point, because you missed on draft picks, and that's just one singular example, this is the worst Bills roster. So yes, Josh Allen is still there. He's not playing like Josh Allen was. The defense is historically bad. And this all points to what Jerry was saying. You missed on a lot of draft picks, some free agent signings, etc. So hopefully the Bills get it done this year. I think it'd be awesome for America. Everybody else is just a non-attractive story, honestly, in the playoffs at this point. But I did want to call that out with Jerry. Let me know what you think in the comments about that. I agree with him. I think that's a great call out with everybody's like, oh, this is the Bills' year. We're thinking about like Mahomes Burrow era as it relates to the Bills and how the Bills were playing in those years. They're not playing like they were in those years. Let's just call it what it is. So yeah, there's a lot of new faces in the playoffs, like the Patriots, the Broncos are on the rise. Jacksonville was on the rise, technically still is. But the Bills are not the Bills of the past 4 years. This is the worst roster they've had in memory, Jerry said. And I agree. Follow at PigsKidPD on X.